Yeah, and it makes perfect sense too, because think about the fact that how often might we want to adopt a certain value or a certain belief system, and we might think in our heads that this is right, it sounds good, it seems to be who I want to be as a person, but at the moment there's any adversity or anything, I'm going to revert back to that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how hard is it to, and you wonder what it takes to kind of push through and stick with a new set of values so that that can cement itself as your core beliefs going forward, or as you kind of put it, how does that erase the tapes, if you will? I mean, I don't know if you have any comment on that in particular, but it strikes me as a bit parallel in that regard.
It's actually quite simple. Once you understand and are able to validate who you've been and the choices you've made in the past, especially in very early years, and aren't trying to change those, but instead are looking forward and trying to employ something new, create a new strategy, it's really just becomes about repetition and certain practices to keep your mind focused on that direction rather than focused on changing the previous direction. So if you're driving a car and you have a new destination, you aren't looking behind you to see where you've come or how you got there the last time. Hopefully, if you're in the car, you're looking forward in front of you and deciding, how do I want to navigate the pathway I'm on right now with all the people in my life, the cars in other lanes, to get to the goal I'm getting to now. So it's really about focus. And again, we are immensely powerful as beings of energy and belief, more so than as beings of body and brain. And as a matter of fact, you asked earlier, you know, how is it that we don't see this potential that we have outside of our brains and bodies? And it's because we've been raised, and for centuries, the world has operated on what I call Newtonian science. Everything, our health systems, our corporate systems, we function based on the model that says you are primarily a being of matter and cognition, brain and body. And that, yes, there's immense opportunity within that very physical construct, and there's also a lot of limitation. So work with your limitations, right? You're born with the DNA you have, the genes you have, and it's what you have to live with. Well, new science, what I call frontier science, is like epigenetics, neuropsychology, metaphysics, have discovered that that is actually not true, that we are not primarily beings of cognition and matter. We are primarily beings of energy and belief. And that the potential that we have to create just about anything we want, including changing the direction of our cellular development, is limitless. And so it's about focusing on that potential and using that energy to create the new pathway rather than trying to change the old pathway.